All right, everyone, we're here for day three. First game of day three for the 2022 Canadian National U22 Baseball Championships here at Beasley Field in Dartmouth. Mark Moff with you, High Button Sports. Thank you very much for tuning in as always. Elmwood Giants and Kentville Wildcats to kick off the day today. And here's Justin Scott, the leadoff hitter for Elmwood in this game, starting this game in right field. Here's the first pitch. In the dirt, ball 1-1-0 the count. The starting pitcher for Kentville today, John Piers, and he's going to have behind the plate to start Shane Cowan for the catcher. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Strike, 1-1. Of course, getting things underway here for the action on day three here of the tournament. And we're certainly very glad that you've stuck with us all tournament long here. In the dirt, 2-1 is the count. Of course, just looks like it's sort of clearing up out there. There were some clouds earlier this morning, but it looks like it's clearing up. That's going to be foul back. That's going to bring the count to 2-2. Of course, the whole High Button Sports crew here for this one. And we certainly look forward to another nice day of baseball here at Beasley Field. Ball, and that's going to bring the count up to a full count. Justin Scott able to get the count up full here. Sees the first batter of the game here, leading off. Payoff pitch. That's fouled back to keep the at-bat going here for Justin Scott. Of course, we had a late ending last night here. The game ended about quarter to midnight, and here we are some little over 10 hours later, and we're back at it here as just taking a step off for a second there is John Piers. As he sets back in here, here's the 3-2 once again. That is going to be drilled foul to the left side, and the at-bat continues. As that ball is rolling along the gravel perimeter here at Beasley and returned to the dugout. See the carnival off in the distance. There's nothing going on with that. Perhaps a bit too early for the carnival at this time, of course. If you're familiar with the geography of Dartmouth in the old parking lot of the Ford dealership. That's going to be a walk, and that's going to be a walk for Scott to start the game. Dylan Duguay to step in now for Elmwood, starting this game at second base. Elmwood going to, or I should say Duguay, going to take the signs here. That's going to be a ball. 1-0 is the count as Duguay gets his first at-bat of the game going here. Elmwood comes in, so it's an 0-3-0 record, so looking to get their first win of the tournament here. Meanwhile, Kentville is 2-1-0 in the tournament thus far. Both these teams through 3 of their 4 preliminary round games, and this is their final one right here, so we'll see what they'll be able to do here. As that was a ball on that last pitch. 2-0 is the count. Here comes the 2-0 pitch from Piers. Now it's going to be swung on and missed, and now the count is going to be 2-1. For this Elmwood Giants team, how they have done in the tournament thus far. 5-0 loss to the host Dartmouth Renegades. 8-7 loss to the Kitchener Panthers, and 5-2 win, I should say. Or actually, we're going to get back to that in just a minute as that ball is going to be drilled. Left field to the wall. Scott rounds third. Duguay coming into second, and there's the slide into the plate there, and that's going to get the first run on the board for the game here. So that's going to be the RBI double for Mr. Duguay, and that's going to get Scott across and now make it 1-0 for these Elmwood Giants.
Number 6,
Owen Harm stepping in here, starting this game at short. Just to finish my point there, of course, this Manitoba team looking for their first win here, the Elmwood Giants of the tournament. Thus far, a 5-0 loss to the Dartmouth Renegades, the host team. 8-7 loss to the Kitchener Panthers, and a 5-2 loss to the PEI All-Star team that Prince Edward Island has sent. And, of course, this is their last preliminary round game here, so we'll see if they can get a victory here in their last preliminary round game here of the tournament. Duguay leads off second. Piers looks in, gets the sign. Here's the pitch from the stretch. Strike. 0-1 the count. Just to recap how they got here, this Kentville team beating the Metro Marlins 8-6 in their first game, a 5-1 loss to the Fredericton Royals, and a 4-3 win over the Newmarket Hawks. Of course, that was a very dramatic game yesterday that got delayed because of lightning and was won in extra innings by the Wildcats. As that's going to be a strike. That's going to bring the count to 0-2. Duguay still at second. He's going to walk off by, good size lead off there, maybe about 5 or 6 paces. Here is the pitch. Ball. That's going to bring the count up to 1-2. Of course, this Elmwood Giants team able to get here to this point by winning the Manitoba Provincial Championship and representing Manitoba here at the tournament. Swung on and missed. That's going to be a strike. That's going to be the strikeout there, and that's going to make it one away here in the top of the first. Adam Sendin coming up here, starting this game at first base. Duguay still at second. Arms going to dig his way in here. First pitch coming from Piers here. That's going to be belted to short. The throw the first. Bit bobble, but it is, I should say it's not going to be in time as the pulled off the bag there at first base there, and that's going to cause Sendin to get to first there. I'm calling that a hit in mine because that was a very, it was kind of bobbled there, but it was still going to be a tough play anyway at short there, so that's at least how I'm putting it in my unofficial scorebook here, the broadcast location. Riley Crawl making his way up to the dish now, starting this game at third base. So Duguay's going to be at second, and Sendin's going to be at first here. We are still one away here in the top of the first, and already the quick 1-0 lead here for the Elmwood Giants. Piers with the pitch. Strike, 0-1. Of course, Kentville was able to get here by finishing third in the U22 Nova Scotia Elimination Tournament a couple of weeks ago. Of course, that was with the Renegades winning the tournament and Metro Marlins finishing second. So, of course, Renegades are already a host team, so those two other placements going to the Marlins and the Wildcats, as that's opposite field left side. That's going to be dead. The left field. The sign come around. Here comes Duguay. Might have a play at the plate, but it's going to be cut off there, and Duguay is going to score on the throw. Went past, and off goes Sendin the third. And he's going to get there, and that's going to send Craw to second. So that's going to score Duguay and make it the 2-0 lead here for the Giants. Catcher number 19, Easton Greaves. Easton Greaves stepping his way here, starting this game as the catcher. Of course, when we eventually get to the bottom half here of the first, he'll be behind the plate. All right, we are going to have Sendin at third and Craw at second. Still just one away here in the top of the first. Ball. That's going to make it the 1-0 count. All right, Piers going to step his way back onto that mound there. Gets the sign from Cowan behind the plate. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Goes tipped back into the glove there for the strike. 1-1. Of course, the first two games you're going to see today are preliminary round games, but then after that, we're going to get into the playoffs. So the playoffs are going to start today, so that's certainly very exciting. Belted, right center field. It's going to fall in there and go all the way back to the fence. That's going to score at least one more for the Giants. And that's going to be in there for a double as Greaves, and that's going to get the next run in there. And so Sendin's going to score, and Craw's going to score and put two more up there for the Elmwood Giants and make it now 4-0 off the RBI double by Easton and Greaves. Ryan Baldwin to step in now. Oh, I was about to say that. We're going to have an infield consultation with the Kentville Wildcats to try and get the train back on the tracks here, as it's gone completely off, I'd say here. There's already 4 on the board here for the Elmwood Giants here in the top of the first. I was about to say Ryan Botterill is about to step up here, but he's going to have to wait a minute here once the consultation's over. Botterill. He's going to be starting this game once we get to the bottom half of the first in left field.
Left field, number 17, Ryan Botterill.
All right, Botterill going to step in here. As looks like the outfield was having a consultation of their own, unofficial. The unofficial one, as the official one, of course, was happening amongst the infield. And we're going to get back to this thing here. This pitch from Piers. Strike, 0-1. Greaves still at second. Next one coming from Piers. It's going to be a ball, 1-1. Sizable lead off second for Greaves. Here's the pitch. Ball. That's going to bring the count to 2-1. Still just one away here in the top of the first. Put out there to first base. That's going to be fielded and step on the first bag. 2 away. Greaves is to advance to third. Is able to get the step on the bag there was Kyle Woodworth to get the out. Brett Zeller stepping in here for the Giants, starting this game as the DH. Greaves at third now. 2 outs here on the top of the first. Ball, 1-0. And I can see off in the distance there in the Little Beasley, we got some sort of clinic or camp going on there. But I'm not sure if it's just baseball or just, a summer camp there, but it's nice to see those kids off there in the distance. That's going to be a ball, 2-0. Looks like they're learning how to lead off there because they're sort of in a crouched position and sort of almost like they're leaning off the bag there. But whatever they're learning, I'm sure they're having fun and getting some exercise and being safe as well. So that's going to be fouled back. Almost beyond the fence on the outer part of the grounds here at Beasley Field, but it's going to just stick on the fence there. And we already have some action here in the Elmwood Giants bullpen here as the count is 2-1 here. 2 away here in the top of the first. Trying to see who that man is out there. Looks like it might be, actually I'm not quite sure who that man is out in the Kentville bullpen, excuse me, as that's going to be a strike. 2-2 the count, so 1 strike away here from getting out of this top half of the first here for the Wildcats. Greaves still at third. That's going to be blooped. Foul. At bat continues here for Brett Zeller. Belted to center, and that's going to drop in there, and that's going to bring Greaves home. And staying at first there is Zeller for the RBI single, and put another one on the board here for the Giants off the RBI single from Zeller. All right, Darnell White coming up here. He is starting this game in center field. Zeller at first. 2 outs here, top of the first. Bunt. And that is going to go foul. 0-1 the count. Of course, we're in the last stages of the preliminary round here. As I said, playoffs are starting today. In the dirt before it reaches the plate, and that's going to bring the count up to 1-1. Already a huge top half of the first here for the Giants, already putting 5 on the board. All right, Piers back in here with Zeller at first. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. That's going to be strike 2. 1-2's the count. It looks like Zeller might have been thinking about going there, but Very wise not to, as that was a good stop there by Cowan behind the plate to keep that one from going all the way to the backstop. Once again, Kentville one strike away from getting out of this top half of the first and trying to get out of this thing here. Here's the pitch. Put out there to right field. And the catch is made, and that'll do it for the top half of the first inning, but not for a big top half of the first inning for the Giants, putting 5 on the board. Back out of here at the bottom of the first here of this preliminary round game at the KU 22 Baseball Championships. Here, Mark Moffat from High Button Sports. Thank you very much for sticking with us here. About to start the bottom half of the first, but of course not for a big top half of the first for the Elmwood Giants, putting 5 runs on the board. Now it's time for Kentville's turn at the bat. Jared Finney to lead things off here for the Wildcats, starting this game at shortstop. Tyler Smith, the starting pitcher here for the Giants. That's going to be bunted. Back to Smith, the throw to first. In time, 1 pitch, 1 out. Shane Cowan stepping at the plate, the starting catcher for the game for the Wildcats. Should mention that the catcher behind the plate to start the game for the Elmwood Giants is Greaves. Easton Grieve, excuse me. No S at the end. And Grieve able to handle that one and make sure it does not go back to the backstop there, but it is going to be low on the ball, 1-0. Of course, you should mention that our next game here is going to be the Dartmouth Renegades and the Fredericton Royals in the last round-robin game here at Beasley before the playoff starts. That's going to be a ball, 2-0. And of course, once we get to the quarterfinal stage, which is the first stage of the playoffs, of course, we'll have to get our seedings all in place here, get out our calculators, our abacuses, even our slide rules, if those even still exist, to figure out the seedings there. As that's going to be belted into center field off the base hit, and that's going to put that man on, Cowan, for the signal. Orson O'Rourke to step in there for the Wildcats, starting this game as the DH. And before we get to that, we'd like to acknowledge our game sponsor for this particular game, and that is Mr. Keegan McGinnis of Bloom Property Services. Your home for custom outdoor living space and much more, Bloom Property Services. All right, first pitch coming here from Smith, and that's going to be a swing and a miss, strike 1, 0-1. Wind's starting to pick up here at Beasley as the flags behind us are starting to whip and tail and dance in the wind. Cowan still at first. The pickoff attempt to first. He's going to be safe. And it sounded like some players in the Kentville Wildcats. I'm sure they were not clearing their throats when they were going, ah. Of course, I don't think any offensive team likes that when the pickoff attempt is attempted at first base. But hey, sometimes there are times where that has worked in the past, as that's going to be a strike, 0-2. I think they were saying back as in get back to the bag, although I think the runner was good with that one. Of course, you're always wary of that if you're at first base. Swing and a miss. That is going to be the strike 3, and that is going to be a strikeout there, as we are now 2 away here in the bottom of the first. Kyle Woodward stepping in there, starting this game at first base, after O'Rourke just struck out there. I guess we're being technical. That was a right ways K, as that was a swinging strike, but I just counted them all as Ks because, in my opinion, a strikeout's a strikeout. Doesn't matter whether it's looking or swinging. A strikeout is a strikeout. But of course, not everyone agrees that. You do it however you want. I do it the way I want to. Anyone can do it however way they want to. As that one was going to be in there for a strike, 0-1 the count. Pickoff attempt at first. Save. Oh, well, I'm not so sure about that, sir, in the Kentville dugout. I don't know if anyone's that fast. Too fast. Strike. That's going to bring it up to 0-2 with 2 outs here in the bottom of the first. Of course, this is Mark Moff with you from High Button Sports. Thank you very much for sticking with us here all gosh darn tournament long. That's going to be fouled back. And, oh, geez, almost right into our broadcast position here. Actually, might have hit the actual building there. Hopefully everyone's okay down there because it bounced off the building into the ground. I don't see anyone who's down or looks injured, so it looks like I think we're good here. So thank goodness for that. Well, it is going to keep the at-bat going still at 0-2. Pitch coming. That's going to be drilled center field. And that's going to drop. Oh, the attempted dive for the catch there. Caught off the bag there, and that is going to be the out there. So despite the fact they didn't catch the ball, the guy around in second there just a bit too antsy on the play there, and that was going to cause the out and cause the end of the first inning. Back to the top of the order here for the Elmwood Giants here in the top of the second inning here of this preliminary round game of the Canadian U22 Baseball Championships. Mark Moff with you from High Button Sports. Thank you very much for sticking with us here as we're going to see Justin Scott, coming back up to the dish here to lead off the top of the second inning. He walked his last at-bat and scored. And we have a new pitcher out there for the Kemper Wildcats, Eric Fields. So Fields is going to get his first pitch here. The left-handed pitcher is Mr. Fields. Here's his first pitch. That's going to be fouled to the left side, 0-1. Careening toward the fence there. And is retrieved and returned to the dugout here. The hard steel dugouts there. I have to imagine it's not It's not fun if a foul ball goes off that and you're sitting in the dugout and you hear just this big boom, like it's hail or something. As 1-1 is the count off the ball. Scott steps back in. Fouled back, 1-2. Careening off the backstop. Thankfully, not careening off of the anything could get broken. Of course, that's what the chain link's designed to do, to stop the velocity of that ball dead in its tracks. All right, Scott stepping back in here as we're just getting underway with the top of the second inning. Signs coming there, and that's going to be high off the pitch as the count now rings to 2-2. And we'd like to once again wish a early happy birthday to our main man, Sidney Crosby there, who's going to be having his birthday tomorrow. So, Sid, we hope that day is just excellent for you, my man, from all of us here at High Button Sports, as that's going to be a ball, full count. Able to get this count full here is Justin Scott. Pitch coming here. That's drilled, but drilled foul. As that one careens into the parking lot and just rolls along there, and actually may have gone off the concrete base of the Caledonia Junior High School there. Well, I'd rather being off the concrete base than off a window or something that could get smashed, because you don't want that. Here comes the next one. In the dirt, that's going to be ball 4, and send Scott to the face. Another walk on the day there for Justin Scott. Dylan Duguay stepping back in here. He had a double and scored his last time out. All right, Duguay stepping his way on in here. Oh, yep, umpire getting some new balls there. Duguay stepping in here as we continue here with the top of the second. Of course, remember, these are 7-inning games here at the tournament, as it's in their first strike 0-1. And I must say, I think I can speak for the whole crew in saying that I think that was a good decision to have it only be 7 innings here for the tournament, for a variety of reasons. All right, pick-off play to first there. Safe. All right, we continue with the count being 0-1 here. That's going to be a ball, and that's going to cause the runner attempt second. There's the throw. Not going to be in time, and that is going to get Scott to second. All right, we're going to have Scott at second now. The count still sits at 1-1. Fields with the pitch. Pop to the left side there. The play's made short. The throw over is going to be, close one. In time for the out. And that's going to get the out there. That was a very nice play there over at shortstop, as Finney able to get the out there, one away.
Shortstop, number 6, Owen Harm.
Owen Harm stepping his way back in here as we're one out here in the top of the second. Harm struck out his last at-bat. All right, that's going to be Scott leading off second here. As we're one away here in the top of the second, here's the pitch. That's popped up to the center of the infield here, and the catch is going to be made 2 away. Finney settling under that one and getting that catch there, and now we're 2 outs. Finney in on the last 2 outs here for the Wildcats, as we're now 2 outs here in the top of the second. Adam Senden stepping his way back in here, a single and score his last time out. Here's the pitch from in there from Fields. Strike 1, 0-1. The morning started off cool here with the cloud cover. Now it's starting to get hotter as the clouds are starting to clear. That is jammed up, and it's going to be foul, and I think it's going to hit the roof of our building. Oh, geez, no, it just ended up short and careening off the asphalt, and the people that were down there had to I don't know if they were expecting that, and they had to. It looks like everyone's fine down there, so thank goodness for that, as the count is now going to be at 0-2. One strike away here from getting out of this top of the second inning for the Wildcats. This time is to be called here by Sendin. It's going to settle back in here. Back into that box there. Lead off, coming off second there from Scott. Pitch coming. Ball, as that's going to make it 2-2 the count. Scott off second once again here. That one going to be put out there to left field. Finney's calling for it, and he's going to catch it, and then on all three outs was Finney, and that's going to do it here for the top half of the second inning. With the bottom of the second here of this one preliminary round game in the Canadian U22 Baseball Championships here. As Elmwood Giants and Kemper Wildcats continue here. Mark Moffat here from High Button Sports. Thank you very much for sticking with us here. And we're going to lead off this bottom of the second here with Jacoby Ford starting this game at third base. Smith ready to get his first pitch here. Swing and a miss, strike 1-0-1. We'd like to thank once again our game sponsor for this game, Mr. Keegan McGinnis of Bloom Property Services, your home for custom outdoor living spaces and much more. Ball, 2-0. As we continue on here with this one, and we'd like to thank all of you who have sent in kind words about our coverage. For those kind words, we certainly very much do appreciate wherever you will be watching from, all over Canada and outside of Canada as well, all over the place, everywhere. All right, the count currently sits at 2-1 here. That's going to be fouled back 2-2. Off the backstop and once again down into the gravel perimeter here at Beasley. Of course, Beasley Field here in Dartmouth, Nova Scotia. Ford settles back in here, and here comes the next pitch from Smith. Ball. That's going to get the count up full here, as we're just underway here at the bottom of the second. All right, here comes the payoff pitch here from Tyler Smith. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and that's going to be Ford striking out there, one away. Nathan Weber to step his way in here. He is starting this game in right field. And we can see what he does here as we are one gone here in the bottom of the second. Of course, this is Mark Moffat with you from High Button Sports. Thank you very much for sticking with us all weekend here for the tournament. And that is going to be fouled back almost right to our position here. 0-1 the count, and I have a feeling there was something like that last year with that happened where I thought it was coming, and I react the same way whether there's mesh there or not. So there's another one for you, Justin Belanger. I know those are my favorite calls of all time in your opinions. That's going to be in there for strike 0-2 is the count. All right, as we try and get back to this thing here, 0-2. Here's the pitch from Smith. Ball, 1-2. Just trying to get my breath back here after. Once again, I think I've told this before. It's the reason I had to stop playing sports, because I don't like fast-moving things coming at my face. But that's actually a good thing, because if it weren't for that, I wouldn't be up here. And this is my best position here in sports, without a doubt. That's going to be a strikeout. Weber's going to go down there, 2 away.
Second base number 12, Tyson Swanwhite.
I believe that was Justin. I heard that saying he loves me. I love all of our High Button Sports crew. You guys are fantastic. As Tyson Sloan-White going to step in here. He is starting this game at second base. Swing and a miss, strike 1-0-1. And we're just going to get the plate brushed off there. Oh, and 1 the count here, as still up there is Mr. Sloan-White. Strike 2. That is going to make it 0-2. All right, Smith go to deliver the 0-2 here. That's going to be swung on and fouled off from behind, and that actually may have hit the bleachers back here that are right behind us here. And that's going to keep the at-bat going. All right, keeping the at-bat going here for Sloan-White. Next pitch coming from Smith. Ball. Looks like the frame job was intended here, but it comes away as the ball there, 1-2. All right, the 1-2 from Tyler Smith. That ball is going to be low and inside, 2-2. And stepping back in here, Sloan-White. Here's the pitch from Smith. That's going to be popped up into the infield. And the catch is going to be made there. Is able to settle on that one was Duguay. And that is going to do it for this half inning. Back at it here, about to start the top of the third inning here is Cross stepping back in there for the Giants. He had a single and scored his last time out. I would like to once again acknowledge our game spots this game. Keegan McGinnis of Bloom Property Services, your home for custom outdoor living spaces and much more. That's going to be put in there to right field, and that's going to be a base hit, and that's going to send Craw to first base on the signal to start top of the third. Easton Greed to step back in here for the Giants. He had a double and scored his last time out. And he is going to have Craw at first. Strike, 0-1. As that's still Fields pitching in there for Kentville. Of course, replacing John Pierce, who started this game. Pitching. Off of first goes Craw by about 3 paces. Ball. Count goes to 1-1, as we are still no outs away here in the top of the third. 1-1 is the count. Gonna fire this one in here, Fields. That's going to be low in the ball, and a throw is not even going to be attempted on that steal, as able to successfully get the second there is Craw. Umpires shifting over there in the infield. Of course, the 3 umpire system being used here in the tournament. So, of course, the plate and the 2 in the field, and of course, the shift that they got to put on there if they don't have one at every base for when the guys move. Swing and a miss. That's going to be the strike 2, and 2-2 now is the count. Craw still at second. From the stretch, here comes the pitch from Fields. That's going to be fouled back into the mesh. Keeps the at-bat going here for Grieve. As there goes somebody off for that foul ball. Once again, about 4 paces off second there for Craw. As here comes the next pitch here to Grieve. Swing and a miss. That's going to be strike 3, and that's going to be a strikeout for Grieve, 1 away. Ryan Bottle will step his way back in here for the Giants. He flew out to first base his last time up, and he's going to have Craw still at second here, as we are now 1 away here in the top of the third. Swing and a miss, and that's going to be foul, or a foul back, I should say. He didn't miss, it fouled back. 0-1 the count. Botterill steps back in. The leadoff coming from Craw at second by a bit of a shorter one, maybe about 3 paces this time. Ball. That is going to make it the 1-1 count here, as the sun was out for a couple of minutes, but now a cloud has moved in front of it, so you can't see it right now, but makes things slightly cooler. I'm sure that cloud is going to move there. There's not many, as there are some clouds, but there are some that are away here. That hit him, and that's going to send that man to first base, Botterill. So now we're going to have Botterill at first and Craw at second. Brett Zeller coming back up here. He, at his first at-bat, had a single. And we got some action going on in the Kentfield bullpen as a couple of guys running down there, trying to see who that is down there, who's going to be warming up. Presumably come in at the next, or perhaps before the end. We'll have to wait and see on that one. So that's going to be a strike 0-1, as a swing and a miss that time from Zeller. Craw still at second, and Botterill over there still at first. Next one from Eric Fields. And it looks like they're trying for a pitch out there, but the steal attempts don't come there. I don't know if it was going to be a double steal attempt, or, well, obviously, with the guys at first and second would have been, but it doesn't end up coming. 1-1 is the count. That one's going to be inside, putting the count up to 2-1. Strike, and that's going to be the strike in there for 2-2. Next one coming. That's going to be high there, and that's going to make the count 3-2. Craw still at second, and Botterill still at first. Strike in there, strike 3, and that is going to be the strikeout there, as Zeller's going to be struck out 2 away. Darnell White to step his way back in there for the Giants. He flew out to center field his last at-bat. Craw still at second, and Botterill still at first here. Strike, 0-1. Fields looks in as time is called. Looks like we're back to it now. That's going to be a bunt now. A pretty nice bunt from White. He just might get the first, the throw, and the throw's not even going to be attempted there. Oh, bit off third there, but it's going to be safe back there, and that's going to put White on first base there off the bunt single and load the bases. All right, we're going to keep things going with Justin Scott coming back up to the plate here. He has had 2 walks thus far in the game. And now we're going to have the bases loaded with Craw at third, Bottrell at second, and White at first, as we are 2 away here in the top of the third. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 1, 0-1. Of course, already with the lead here are the Giants. They could bust this thing open even more if this one is a good hit from Scott. Swing and a miss, strike 2, 0-2. 2 big swings there, but the bat doesn't find the ball, and now in the hole here is Scott at 0-2. 0-2 coming. That's going to be high there for the 1-2. As the bases are still loaded, they're Cross still at third, Bottrell still at second, White still at first. But 1 strike from getting out of this are the Wildcats. Next one coming from Fields. That's going to be low and make it now 2-2. Next one coming. That's going to be roped to right field. And the catch is to be made, and no more runs coming from the Elmwood Giants in this particular one there, as that's going to do it for this half inning. Back out of here with the bottom of the third of this preliminary round game here in the Canadian U22 Baseball Championships. Mark Mopley from High Button Sports. Thank you very much for sticking with us here. And once again, I'd like to acknowledge the game sponsor for this game, Keegan McGinnis of Bloom Property Services, your home for custom outdoor living spaces and much more. Nolan O'Brien to step up to the plate here, and that's going to be a strike 0-1 the count. Nolan O'Brien starting this game in center field. And Smith still out there pitching for the Giants. That one's going to be low, 1-1. All right, 1-1 is the count here, as we're just getting started here at the bottom of the third. That's going to be roped, foul to the left side. That's going to keep the at-bat going here for O'Brien. Put up. Play is to be made at second. The throw is going to be close, but in time. So that is going to be 1 away there.
outfield, number 2.
Duguay able to get that one over there and get the out that time, as we are now one away here in the half inning. Now Tyler Croteau stepping in here, starting this game in left field. Strike, 0-1. Of course, the one out here in the bottom of the third. That is kind of drooped into foul ground there. The catch could be made here, and it is made, 2 away.
Shortstop, number 34, Jared Finney.
That was a nice catch made there by Craw to get that out there, as Finney to step his way back in here. He, in his first at-bat, grounded out to the pitcher, to Smith. So he steps back in here, 2 away here in the bottom of the third. Strike. That's going to make it the 0-1 count. That's in there for the strike there, 0-2. And that's going to be fouled back. And that's going to keep the at-bat going here for Finney. Of course, these Kemper Wildcats coming from the Blue Nose Baseball League, as is the Renegades, as are the Marlins here, the Nova Scotia U22 Baseball League, as that one is going to be low for the ball there. And there was a drop third strike, and the throw-overs in time, and that's going to do it here for the third inning. All right, about to get back at it here with this going here, as looks like we have a new pitcher in here for the Wildcats, and it looks like it is Nick Gage. So he's going to be taking over for the pitching here from Fields.
For the 50-50 draw, the lucky ticket is a yellow ticket. Ticket number 1232.
As Gage finishes his warm-up pitches here, and we're about to get this thing back going here, as we are now in the top of the fourth.
Come down to the canteen to claim your draw. Leading off the fourth inning for Manitoba, second base, number 14, Dylan Duguay.
All right, Duguay going to step back in here to lead off the top of the fourth. He has had a double and has grounded out to third base today thus far. All right, Gage going to get his first pitch in here in his pitching appearance. Another left-hander here for the Wildcats. Strike, 0-1. Duguay going to step back in there. Ball. That's going to make it 1-1 here, as we're just underway at the top of the fourth, and we'd like to once again acknowledge our game sponsor for this game, Keegan McGinnis of Bloom Property Services, your home for custom outdoor living spaces and much more. That one's going to be popped way high up in the air as it comes careening back down from space, and that catch is going to be made, and that's going to make it 1 away. Able to get that one was Weber, and we are one out. Harms to step his way back in here for the Giants in his plate appearances. He has struck out and has flew out, so we'll see if he can change that here, as we are one gone here in the top of the fourth. Here comes the pitch from Gage. Ground to first, and the easy tap's going to be made on the bag, 2 away. Able to get that one was Woodworth, and tap the bag here for the second out.
First base, number 13, Adam Senden.
Okay, we're going to get Senden back up here. He has had a single, scored, and has flew out in this game thus far. That is cracked to left center field. And that just barely stayed in the park off the wall. And that's going to be a double there for Senden to send him to second base, but very close to a home run here. Seeing it from up here, that had to be maybe just a foot short of the wall there, but it's going to send Senden to second with a double. All right, Craw going to step his way back in here. Thus far in this game, he has had a single, scored, and had a second single, so 2 singles and a run scored for Riley Craw in this game. Senden's going to be on second here, as we are 2 away here in the top of the fourth. Of course, this is Mark Moff with you from High Button Sports. Thank you very much for sticking with us here all tournament long. That's going to be blasted foul to the left side, 0-1. As that ball off the sidewalk, bouncing along the parking lot, and it looks like going to settle in one of the doorways there. Caledonia is. There's somebody going over for it. 0-1 the count here on Craw. As Senden leads off second. Here's the pitch from Gage. Blooped out to the left field, and that's going to fall in there for a hit. We're going to have a close play at the plate here. Here comes Craw. This is going to be close. Oh, but the throw's going to draw the catcher away. And that's going to be the run in there for the Giants and allow Craw to get the second there. Senden scores and put another one on the board for the Giants. Off the RBI double from Craw. Grieve stepping back in here in this game. He has had a double, scored, and struck out. As Gage going to step back on the mound here. That's going to be a ball. 1-0 the count. Ball. 2-0. Of course, want to encourage you to follow us on all of our social channels, the Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, for all of our video content, mic'd up videos, live streams, podcasts, the whole deal. Ball. That is going to make it 3-0. Still 2 away here in the top of the fourth. Gage going to reset here from the stretch. Strike. 3-1. Alrighty, here it is. Craw going to take his lead off from second here. As here comes the pitch from Nick Gage. Swing and a miss. That is going to be the strike 2. Full count. 1 strike away here from getting out of this thing are the Wildcats. Gage from the stretch here. And that payoff pitch is fouled off, and the at-bat keeps going here for Grieve. Ball, and that is going to be on there. 4 balls, and Grieve goes to first on the walk, and that's going to keep Craw at second base. Botterill to step back in here. In this game thus far, he is flew out and has been hit, so he's going to step back up in here. He's going to have Craw at second and Grieve on first here. Nick Gage settling back in here from the stretch. That's going to be belted to right center field, and that is going to stay in here. One's at least going to come around to score. The throw from the outfield is going to cause both the runners to stop up at their bases there. Another one comes around as that's going to be Craw in there to score and put another one on the board for the Giants. Off the RBI double from Botterill. Brett Seller to step back in here in this game. He's had a single and a struck out. And looks like we may have a pinch hitter here. And we do have a pinch hitter for Manitoba there. Carson Wodowich is stepping in here, pinch hitting in Zeller's spot here. So he might be the new DH here for this thing, as that one is going to be popped up to shallow left center. And that was a pretty nice kind of circus catch to be made there. Is able to get that one was Finney, and that's going to do it for this half inning. Back at it here as we're about to get started here with the bottom of the fourth of this one here, the preliminary round game of the Canadian U22 Baseball Championships. Elmwood Giants and Kemptville Wildcats still going here. Mark Mopp with you from High Button Sports. Thank you very much for sticking with us here. And now Shane Cowan going to lead things off here. He has singled his last at-bat, and Cowan's back up there with Smith still on the mound for the Giants. That is blinged to left field, but it's going to be just barely foul. Of course, I guess they always say with the chalk, you always say it's a fair ball if you see chalk poof up, and I did not see any chalk poof up, so I think that was foul. It's close though. Oh, and 1 the count here on Cowan. That's going to be a ball, 1-1. Of course, we'd like to once again acknowledge our sponsors, King Keegan McGinnis of Bloom Property Services, your home for custom outdoor living spaces and much more. That one put over to the right side, but foul, 1-2 the count. As we are just underway here with the bottom of the fourth. That is fouled once again to keep the at-bat going here. All right, stepping back in for this one here is Cowan. Gonna get this next pitch from Tyler Smith. That is going to be boomed out there to center field, and that is going to be the base hit there and send that man to first. The single there for Cowan.
Designated hitter, number 24, Thorsten O'Rourke.
O'Rourke to step his way back in here. He struck out his last at-bat. He will have Cowan on first base. in the dirt. That's going to be the 1-0 count. Pickoff attempt to first. Safe. Able to get out back there was Cowan. Here's the pitch. Strike! That is going to make it the 1-1 count here, as we still have Cowan at first, as we're still no outs gone here in the bottom of the fourth. Ball. That is going to make it the 2-1 count here. Once again, Cowan leading off first. Ball. That is going to make it the 3-1 count. And once again, the sun was out once again for another few minutes, but another cloud has moved in the way, so no sun out right now, but that does cool things off a little bit here. Strike. That's going to bring the count up full, of course. If you remember on day one, that was a very hot day that day. 40 degrees it felt with the humidity. Of course, yesterday we had those thunderstorms, so we all weren't out of here until close to midnight. And, of course, we're back at it once again here today as that one's going to be fouled to the right side. Oh, watch out over there. And looks like everyone's all right as that ball bouncing into the track and field facility right behind us here. And that's going to keep the at-bat going there for O'Rourke. Here comes the payoff pitch. As foul back once again here. And oh, right off the fence, right in front of one of our camera positions there. And Matt Dudelet is okay there. The big thumbs up, the big world-famous Matt Dudelet wiry smile there. So that's good to see. And that keeps the sat back going here for O'Rourke. All right, we're going to try this payoff pitch again here. Boom to center. Oh, he could have caught it there, but he still can get the double play. Oh, but the ball's going to go into the outfield there. And holding up at second there was Cowan. Probably pretty smart there as the right fielder was able to get to that one quickly and send it back in there as that was able to get that one back in there with Scott. But it is going to have Cowan at second and O'Rourke on first here. And I'm not exactly sure what to rule that up here in my unofficial scorebook, even though it doesn't matter for official stats here. But either way, it's going to be O'Rourke on first and Cowan on second here. And we're going to have Woodward stepping back in. He singled his last time up. 2 runners on base here for the Wildcats as we are still none gone here in the bottom of the fourth. And as that one was in there for the strike. 0-1 the count there. It looks like at least one unofficial scorebook up here in the booth is ruling those as errors. So whatever you rule that, it's going to have the runners here on first and second here for the Wildcats. That is put on to the left side, and that is going to be through there. And everyone's going to hold up here as that one was scooped up quickly there in left field by Bodrell. And that is going to have the bases loaded here as we are still no outs here in the bottom of the fourth. All right. Jacoby Ford stepping back in here. He struck out his last at-bat here. What a chance it is for him. We're going to have Cowan on third, O'Rourke on second, and Woodworth on first. And looks like we're going to have a consultation here at the mound before we get things back going here for the Giants. This is about the biggest pickle they found themselves in this game here. Bases loaded and nobody out. We'll see what they can do with it here. Well, we have this chance. We should take a quick look at these standings as they stand at the end of play yesterday. It's the Dartmouth Renegades first at 3-0-0, tied for first with Kitchener, also 3-0-0. Frederick Monroe is 2-1-0. Of course, this Kempville team up there 2-1-0. Newmarket Hawks 1-2-0. The PEI All-Star team 1-2-0 as well. And the two 0-3-0 teams that are winless thus far in the tournament. Of course, these Elmwood Giants out here in the Metro Marlins. So these teams looking for two things each here, as Elmwood Giants would like to get out of this tournament with at least one win. And Kempville looking to get themselves in a nice position here for possible playoff placement. Here comes the pitch, and that is going to be in there. Strike 0-1. As he's able to get the strike in there with Smith. This is about the only jam that these Giants have found themselves in thus far. That's going to be a ball and almost passed, and I think the runners were thinking about going there, but think better of it, or at least the guys on second and third, rather, or I guess the guy at first as well. But that was a quick stop there, as able to get that one in there, and we're still in for this thing here. 1-1 is the count. Oh, excuse me. Ball, and once again, a good stop there to keep it from going all the way back. 2-1. I think the Kentville dugout sensing that they have a real chance here to bust this thing open for themselves. That's going to be a fly ball, left field. The catch is going to be made here, but it's going to be enough for the runner from third to tag. We might see a play at the plate here, but it's going to be cut off, and there's the first run of the game here for the Wildcats. So that's going to be the sack there from Forbes. So he's going to get out here. It's going to be the first out, but that's going to be the first run on the board here for the Wildcats.
Right field, number 14, Nathan Weber.
All right, Weber going to step his way back in here. He struck out his last at-bat. He is going to have runners on first and second, as O'Rourke still at second and Woodworth still at first. One out here. All right, Weber going to step in here. That's going to be ball 1-0. As we still have O'Rourke on second and Woodworth on first here. Next one coming from Smith. That is going to be a ball, as we are now the count at 2-0. That is going to be off to the right side there. Might have a chance for a play, but that's going to go off and foul. And that's going to go off foul there. Has tried to chase it down there. Was sending, but couldn't quite get to it in time. Here's now. The count is going to stand at 2-1. Alrighty, here we go. Get back to it here from the stretch here. Tyler Smith. Ball. That's going to make the count 3-1. So currently finding himself ahead in the count here is Weber, as still O'Rourke at second and still Woodworth at first. That's going to be put out to the left side, but foul. That's going to make it the full count here. As able to work it to the full count was Weber. And we're going to try and do some damage control here, as it'd be, I'd say, a fantastic feat for them to get out of this happening, having just given up the one run. But there's still a long way to go for that one, as there's just one out here. That is gone out there. This could be a tricky one to shallow right. Oh, but the catch is going to be made there. They're going to try to double off at first, but the runner gets back in time, 2 away. Very nice catch made out there by Scott. Tried to get the double off there, but just runner was able to get back in time there. Scooting back over to first was Woodworth, 2 away. All right, Tyson Slomwhite going to step back in there. He flew out to the first baseman his last at-bat, and he's going to have still Woodworth on first and O'Rourke on second here. 2 outs here. That one's going to be put out there to right field, and once again the catch is to be made, and that's going to do it. And once again, just like I was saying, it'd be fantastic for them, I would say, if they could get out with just one run given up there, and they're able to get that as the catch once again made by Scott to end the half inning. We're now into the top of the fifth of this preliminary round game in the Canadian U22 Baseball Championships as Elmore Giants, Kemper Wildcats continuing here. Mark Moff with you from High Button Sports. Thank you very much for tuning in as always. And we'd like to acknowledge our sponsor this game, Bloom Property Services, and Keegan McGinnis, your home for custom outdoor living your home for custom outdoor living spaces and much more. That is going to be in there for the strike. 0-1 the count as Nick Gage giving the first pitch to Darnell Wyke. He flew out to center field his last time up, did Wyke. Strike. 0-2. I was just saying before how that was, in my opinion, a fantastic achievement by the Giants getting out of that jam where it was bases loaded, nobody out, giving up just the one run there. So that was great damage control by the Elmwood Giants. That pitch was inside, so now the count is at 1-2. That one is belted to left field and falls in there, and that's going to send Wyke to first on the single here. So able to lead off and get on base there was Darnell Wyke. Scott going to step his way back in here. In this game thus far, he is walked, scored, walked again, and flew out. So 2 walks, a scored run, and a fly out for Scott thus far in this game. As Nick Gage settles back in there, as he is still out there. All right, Gage going to look in here. As settling into the plate there is Justin Scott. Wyke leads off at first. Ball, 1-1, or 1-0, excuse me. Wind starting to pick up once again here at Beasley. There has been a lot of wind today. There was a brief time, a couple innings back, where there was a light breeze. Now that light breeze has returned. Pickoff attempt at first. Oh no, it's going to be a steal. Uh-oh, this could be trouble. Oh, but he's going to get there in time, Wyke. So he sort of gets the, I don't know if he was trying to steal or not, but either way, he makes his way over there and beats the throw and gets to second base, does Wyke. And it looks like they just fixed in the dirt over there a little bit there on the second bag there. Have to, to dig up the whole bag, or can they just fix it? The base just okay. They're just gonna stomp down the bag there. I think we're all go with that there. Yeah, helping each other out there. Yeah, as even looked like that was Forbes, the shortstop there, helping out there. And looks like the second baseman Sloan White was assisting as well. Well, the frame job was attempted, but it does not get it that time, as 2-0 is the count. Of course, a very important. Remember, it's where it goes over the plate, not where it ends up in the mitt, where it goes over the plate. Off to center field this time, kind of roped out there. Oh, and that's going to fall to the warning track, off the wall. Runners are going here. Looks like we're going to see at least one run scored. And we are going to see one run scored as off the attempt there. Oh, the ball goes flying, and we could see another one come across. The throw in there doesn't get in there, and that is going to be another run in there for another 2 in there for the Giants, and put 2 more on the board for them.
Second base, number 14, Dylan Duguay.
Duguay to step his way back in here. In this game, he has had a double, scored, grounded out, and flew out. Ball, 1-0. As we are still none away here in the top of the fifth. As we continue on here, Gage throws it in there, ball. That makes it 2-0. Strike. That's going to make it the 2-1 count. As it is nice to see for a 10 o'clock game, and 2 non-local teams have a nice number of fans here, considering that it is a morning game and 2 non-local teams. So that's going to be put on to left field. This is going to be a close one, but it's going to drift foul. The wind might have gotten that a little bit, as it was kind of in line with the foul pole when it first came off the bat of Duguay, but then it sort of leaned its way left and foul. Almost back to the basketball courts off in the distance there. So that's going to bring the count up to 2-2. Here's the pitch from Nick Gage. Kind of lobbed in there, and it's going to be a ball, so full count. All right, payoff pitch coming from Nick Gage. Pounded, but pounded foul to the left, and the ball's going to meekly roll along there and be foul, and the at-bat continues here for Dylan Dugay. Here's the pitch. A little looper to second. The throw over is going to be in time, and that's going to be one away. Able to get that throw over with Sloan White that time. Harms to step his way back in here in this game. He struck out, flew out, and grounded out. As we are one away here in the bottom of the fifth inning. Or top of the fifth, excuse me. Strike, 0-1. That one driven over to first. It's going to be fielded, and the easy step onto the bag that time, 2 away. Able to get the grounder and the step on the bag there, Woodworth, for the second out.
First baseman number 13, Adam
Sendin to step his way back in here in this game. He has scored twice, as well as a single, a double, and a flyout. So that's what Sendin has done this game on the plate and on the base pass. 2 outs here. Gage ready to send this one in here. That's going to be outside, and the ball's going to careen to the backstop, 1-0. Or what am I thinking? One local team and one non-local team. What am I have? Kentvilles in Nova Scotia. Oh, gosh, apologize for that. What am I thinking? Just all right. As I realized that several minutes after I said, and it was incorrect, and I do apologize for that. And we're about to get this thing back going here. I'm considering them because they're in Nova Scotia after all. So that one's going to be foul back, and it is 2-1 now. The count, as this is about the strongest the wind has been here at Beasley today, as it was just a light breeze, but now I call it more of an intermittent gust. That's going to be fouled to the left side to bring the count up to 2-2. You can see the trees dancing in the distance there, and as well as the flags going as well. So the wind has definitely picked up here at Beasley. But the sun has come back out there, so that's good to see that cloud has moved out of the way. Gage about to send the 3-2 in, or the 2-2 in rather, and that one's going to be popped up right side to deep right field. And the catch is to be made, and able to grab that one was Croteau, and that's going to do it for this half inning. Back at it with this one here is Nolan O'Brien going to lead off this half of the inning here. Mark Moff with you, High Button Sports. Thank you very much for sticking with us here. Smith still out there on the mound for Elmwood. Strike 0-1. O'Brien in his at-bats thus far today. It's just he is grounded out to second base. That is driven to left, but it's going to be foul. And into the parking lot of the adjacent Caledonia Junior High School. All right, it's going to put the count up there at 0-2. So quickly in the hole here is O'Brien. Swing and a miss there. That is going to be strike 3, and that's going to strike out O'Brien, 1 away. As this is the first time that we've seen the carnival spark up in the distance there. Hopefully everyone's having fun and being safe over there, of course. All right, Gratteau to step back in here. He flew out his last at-bat, and let's see what he can do with this one here, as we are 1 away. Smith with the pitch. That is banged to third. The throw over is going to be in time, 2 away. That was a very nice throw over as Carl able to get that one over, 2 away. Back to the top of the order here for the Wildcats. Here comes Jarrett Finney. He, in his at-bats today, has been a ground out and a strikeout. So let's see what Finney can do here with 2 outs. And Smith still on the mound. Ball, 1-0. All right, next one coming. Ball, and that is going to bring the count to 2-0. I'd like to encourage all you to listen to our High Button podcast, recently reaching 400 episodes, and Nathan McKinnon coming on for that episode 400 for his second appearance. So it's certainly very nice to have Nathan McKinnon on to tell his stories of this past season in Colorado and all that fantastic stuff there. So thank you once again, Nate McKinnon, for your second appearance. As 2-1 is the count. Here's the pitch. Strike! 2-2. All right, 2-2 is the count here. We're going to see the pitch from Smith. That's going to be fouled back. Ooh, almost, hit the catch. Maybe right inside of the leg there where there's no padding, so he's going to have to, Pierce just walk that off there. Looks like he's okay. Looks like it is still Grieve behind the plate there as he's going to walk that one off there. Looks like he's okay as Smith gets a fresh, clean baseball. Alrighty, we're going to get back to this thing here. The count currently is 2-2 as we are 2 away here. Alright, Smith's going to look in. He's going to get that sign. Here comes the pitch. Foul back, so the at-bat keeps going on here for Jared Finney. Wind picking up once again here at Beasley. As you can see in the trees, the flags. And yeah, this, another intermittent gust here as that pitch is going to be grounded to short. The throw over to first is going to be in time for out number 3 and end this half inning. about to get at with the top of the 6th inning of this preliminary round game in the Canadian U22 Baseball Championships here as Elmwood Giants and Kemper Wildcats continuing here. Mark Moffat from High Button Sports, thank you very much for tuning in as always and sticking with us here. Cole Stevens, the new pitcher in here for the Wildcats, and the first batter she's going to face is, try to see who that's up in there for the Giants as the first pitch is coming. Strike, 0-1. That is Craw up here to lead things off here in the top of the 6th in this game. He has singled, scored, singled again, doubled, and scored again. Driven to the first base side, and we're going to see the easy tap on the bag, 1 away. Able to snag that one was Woodworth and steps on for the first out. Grieve to step back in here, and in this game he has doubled, scored, struck out, and walked. Here's the pitch from Stevens. That is driven to center field, and the catch is to be made 2 away. Able to settle into that one was O'Brien. He made the catch for the second out. Botterill to step back in here in this game. He has flew out, been hit, and has doubled. Ball, 1-0. All right, next one coming in here from Stevens. The 1-0 pitch. Ball, 2-0. That's going to be a ball, 3-0 the count here, so able to get ahead in the count here is Botterill. Stevens settles back in here on the mound. That's going to be a ball and a 4-pitch walk there to send Botterill to first. Carson Woolrich stepping back in here for the Giants. Of course, now in the game replacing Brett Zeller as the DH. He flew out his last at-bat, his first at-bat of the game, having come in for Zeller in the DH spot for the Giants. That's going to be a ball on the quick play back to first as that's going to be safe back there. It looks like Botterill was thinking about going and able to get back to the bag in time here. 1-0 is the count. Botterill off first. I was thinking about it again. He's going to get thrown out that time, and that's going to do it here for this half inning as Botterill is thrown out at first base to end this half inning. Bottom of the sixth now here in this preliminary round game. Canadian U22 Baseball Championships. Mark Mobb with you from High Mountain Sports. Thank you very much for sticking with us here. And we're continuing on here with Kemptville Wildcats and Elmwood Giants. All right, we're going to kick things off. It's going to be coming in here. That's going to be a ball, 1-0 the count. Looks like it's still Smith out there on the mound as Cowan is back up at the plate. He, in his games, or in his plate appearances, he has 2 singles and a scored run, as that one's going to be fouled to the right side there for the 1-1 count. Of course, I'd like to thank our game sponsor this game, Bloom Property Services, and Keegan McGinnis, your home for custom outdoor living spaces and much more. That's going to be fouled off back into the left side, as that one is going to fall short of the parking lot of the community center and just meekly roll to the concrete wall in front of the fence in front of the community center parking lot. 1-2 is the count. Smith looks in. He's been in the whole game. Might be creeping up on the pitch count here as off the belt. It's going to go to first. Easy tap on the bag. 1 away. Able to field that one with send in and first out. O'Rourke to step back in here. He in this game has struck out and has had a single. So let's see what O'Rourke can do with this one here with 1 out here. Getting some encouragement from his dugout there as Kentville back up to the plate here, and that ball is going to roll to short. Oh, kind of lost some velocity. This could be a tough throw, but still going to be in time for the second out. That could have been a tough play there. The ball kind of went on the grass, kind of lost a couple of its velocity, but able to get on that still was Harms to throw it over the first for the second out. Woodward stepping back in there. In this game, he has 2 singles. So he's going to come up here with 2 outs. Tyler Smith settling back in as he has the whole game here. Like I was saying before, might be running up on a pitch count here, so we're going to see, I guess, for the next half inning for the Giants in the field, if he's going to come out to try and complete the game or if he's going to run into the pitch count. That's going to be drilled to second base, the throw over in time, and that's going to do it for this half inning here. Nice throw over from Dugay to end the half inning. About to get back out here, top of the 7th, as Carson Wujic coming his way back up here. The DH, having replaced Brett Zeller earlier in the game. In this one, he has singled, struck out, and flew out. Here's the pitch from Stevens, who's still on the mound for the Wildcats. That's going to be away, and 1-0 is the count. Of course, I'd like to once again acknowledge our game sponsor, Keegan McGinnis of Bloom Property Services, your home for custom outdoor living spaces and much more. And we should also mention that McGinnis is the owner of the company and a former Dartmouth junior player, and that's Matt Dudelay's favorite when the players formerly in the Dartmouth junior program are supporting the team still after their competitive baseball careers have ended as they enter the business/corporate/career world. All right, the count is now at 2-0 here as we're just underway here with the top of the 7th. That ball's going to be a ball and 3-0. I don't think the clouds are definitely starting to dissipate now. There were a lot of them earlier, but now it looks like they're all almost gone. There's still a few left out there. All right, Cole Stevens going to step back in here. Was showing bump, but he pulls back, but that pitch is still over the plate there for the strike, 3-1. That's going to be a swing and a miss for the strikeout there, and that's going to send Wojcic off there and one away off the strikeout. All right, White going to make his way. Oh, actually, I thought that was the third. Oh, gosh, I thought that was the third strike just now, but my correction on that one is that was not, as that one's going to be fouled away to keep the one going here. Now it's a full count, 3-2. And now we're going to see the strikeout this time, and that's going to get the man out there as we're getting that man out there. All right. Here's White back up. In this game, he flew out and has 2 singles and has scored. So White stepping back in here with one away here in the top of the 7th. Ball, 1-0. Stevens going to step his way back in here on the mound. Here's the pitch. Ball, 2-0. That's going to be fouled away there. Right, conveniently along the path to get up to the plate, so there's that one there as we are at a 2-1 count now. Here comes the 2-1 pitch from Stevens. That's going to be popped up, and Stevens is going to try and get this one, but it's going to be called off. And oh, kind of a basket catch made there as running in for that one was Woodworth, and gets that one for the second out. Justin Scott's coming back in here. In this game, he is a walk, has scored a run, has walked again, has flew out, has singled, and has scored another run. Here's the pitch from Stevens. Ball. So that's going to be a 1-0 count as we're 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. Of course, this is Mark Moffat with you from High Button Sports. Thank you very much for sticking with us all tournament long. Strike. 1-1. Of course, after this game at 1 o'clock, at the scheduled start time, we're going to see Dartmouth Renegades and Fredericton Royals playing on Beasley. Ball. That's going to make it a 2-1 count. Next pitch coming from Stevens. That is blasted foul to the left side. As it bounces but stays in the property here at Beasley. Someone over to get that foul ball. As Stevens needing a minute here, it looks like. As the count currently stands at 2-2. And here comes Scott back up here. Perhaps he needed he went back, perhaps he needed another bat there. I didn't see a break of the bat there, but maybe there was a crack in it or something. As he steps back in here. I'm really not sure why he went back to, I didn't see any break of the bat, but it might have been a crack or a little something I couldn't see anyway. 2-2 pitch. And that is going to almost hit him, but still be inside for the full count. Here's the payoff pitch. That's going to be a walk and send Scott to first base on the walk. Duguay to step back in here in this game. He has doubled, scored, grounded out, flew out, and grounded out again. So Duguay stepping back in here with 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. That's going to be outside for that pitch. 1-0 the count. Of course, we're very excited for 4 p.m. today. That's when the playoff games start here at the tournament, and we're certainly very excited to get to those games here. That's going to be popped up to short. And the catch is going to be made there, and that is going to do it there. As able to get the catch there was Jacoby Forbes, and it's the end of the top of the 7th. About to get started with the bottom of the 7th here, as looks like Smith's going to try and get the complete game here. She's back on the mound here for the bottom of the 7th, and Evan Gibbons going to be coming in the game, pitch hitting for Fours. So here comes Gibbons stepping in here, as he's going to be pinch hitting for Fours. That's going to be drilled off the first swing, and it's going to be fouled to the right side, 0-1. That is fouled to about the same spot there for Gibbons. 0-2. And a couple of people going back, or at least one was going to, and then there's a second one, and they'll try and get that foul ball. 0-2 is the count on Gibbons. Smith going to toss in this pitch here, the 0-2. That's going to be drilled to the left side, but foul once again to keep the at-bat going for Evan Gibbons. All right, going to get this one once again, the 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and that's going to be one away here in the bottom of the 7th. It's like another pinch hitter coming up here to replace Nathan Weber. Indeed, that is the case there, as we just we're going to get this pitch here from Smith. Swing and a miss, strike 1. 0-1 is the count. That is Brandon McKenzie in there pinch hitting, as that's going to be a strike. And he's quickly in the hole, 0-2. Smith sets up again. Here's the pitch, the 0-2. Ball 1-2. Here's the 1-2 pitch. And McKenzie pops that one up. It's in foul ground, but they might have a chance for this one. No, it's going to fall short there and keep the at-bat going for Brandon McKenzie.
Folks, once again, we're still looking for one of the winners of the minor league baseball draw. The last four digits, 3615. On a blue ticket, last four digits, 3615.
All right, the plate is going to be cleaned off here before we get started. As we're one out here in the bottom of the 7th. It's going to be a 1-2 count when McKenzie steps back up here. Of course, he is pinch hitting for Nathan Weber. As you saw earlier, Gibbons pinch hitting for fours here in the bottom of the 7th. Strike 3, and that is going to do it there. And we are 2 away. Like another pinch hitter coming up here. Taking the place of Sloan White in the lineup. And we get the confirmation here. All right, pitch coming in. Going to come in here from Tyler Smith. Wade Parker now in there for the Wildcats on the pinch hit there as that first pitch is a ball, 1-0 the count. That one is going to be a ball, 2-0 the count now, of course. Keegan Wade Parker taking the place of Sloan White in the lineup. That's going to be foul back, almost right in front of us here. But of course the mesh is there, that's why it's there. 2-1 the count. All right, next one coming here from Tyler Smith, who's been in the whole game. That's going to be fouled off there. But watch out over there, as everyone's fine over there. Thank goodness for that, as the count now stands at 2-2 here to Keegan Wade Parker. That's going to be fouled off there to keep the at-bat going here and keep the count at 2-2. 2-2 still the count here. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th. Of course, I'd like to once again acknowledge our sponsors, Keegan McGinnis, Bloom Property Services, your home for custom outdoor living spaces and much more. Here's the 2-2 once again. That's going to be drilled to the left side and foul ground. The catch can be made here. And whoa, jeez, and the catch is made there. Is going all out for that ball there. Was sent in. I think he's all right there. He kind of leaned over the fence there and almost tumbled completely over there. Of course, you don't want to ever in that situation see a guy land on his head or whatever. But he's able to get himself back out there. Looks like he's all right here, and the count's going to stay at 2-2, and Keegan Wade Parker keeps the bat going here. Off of fouling that one off to the right side. Still 2-2 the count. Here's the pitch from Tyler Smith. And that is going to hit Keegan Wade Parker, and he's going to take his spot on first base. So he's going to go to first base there. And looks like another pinch hitter coming up here, this time to take O'Brien's spot in the lineup. So we're going to get this thing going right here for this particular pinch hitter.
Pinch hitting for Kenville, number 21, Braden Godkin.
Braden Godkin getting into this game, taking the place of O'Brien in the lineup. Pitch from Smith's going to be low, as that is going to be 1-0 the count, as there was Keegan Wade Parker leading off of first that time. Here's the pitch from Smith from the stretch. Ball. That's going to make it a count here of 2-0. Smith's been out there the whole game. Might be running into a pitch count here, of course. Of all times to run into a pitch count here with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th. But that's going to be a strike. 2-1 is the count. Strike. 2-2. And now 1 strike away here from ending this game and coming away with the victory here for the Elmwood Giants, the Manitoba rep here, and Manitoba provincial champions for this season. Strike 3, and that's going to do it for this one here. And there you have it here, the strikeout here, and the Elmwood Giants pick up the victory in this ball game by a final score of 9-1. So the Giants, they are going to get the win here, and it's going to be good from the Giants' perspective. You travel all the way out here from Manitoba, and you're coming away with at least 1 win. I mean, it would have been not very good for themselves if they would have come all this way here and gone winless, but they get the 1 win there. So, and they certainly got that win here today. 9-1 here over the Kentville Wildcats. That's going to move the Giants to 1-3-0, and it's going to drop the Kentville down to 2-2-0. So we'll see what happens there for the Wildcats in terms of potential playoff seedings there. Like I was saying before, get out your abacuses, calculators, slide rules to figure that out. Of course, we have one more game here for the preliminary round before we get to the playoffs, but now the player of the game presentations. And Shane Cowan gets the player of the game for the Wildcats. He had a single. He scored a run. 2 singles and a scored run. Tyler Smith, a pretty easy choice there. He had the complete game, giving up just the 1 run there, and Tyler Smith getting your player of the game for the Giants. All right, that is going to do it for this game here. We'll see you back at 1 o'clock schedule for Dartmouth